we are kicking things off with a massive shakeup in the streaming world. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos just dropped a major response to the intense backlash surrounding their ongoing partnership with the NFL. President Donald Trump has been loud, criticizing the NFL's exclusive deals with Amazon and Netflix, arguing it makes games too expensive for American families. But Sarandos fired back, explaining that viewers are already shifting towards streaming, and if the games aren't available, it seems ridiculous. We dive into exactly what Netflix is planning for this season and whether they are staying true to their word on streaming access.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we are taking a deep dive into Hollywood history and the incredible personal stories unearthed from Netflix's documentary, Marty, Life is Short. This film gives us 10 fascinating reveals about Martin Short's expansive career, including incredible archival footage featuring Steve Martin, Tom Hanks, and even Steven Spielberg. We explore how Nancy Dolman was the blueprint for a beautiful life, and hear powerful insights from stars like Catherine O'Hara about the bonds that truly define a partnership. Now get ready for some chills, because we are talking about a wild new psychological horror thriller landing on Netflix. The film is called The Perfection, and it follows a music prodigy who returns to her former mentors only to find them obsessed with a new student, leading them down a dark and shocking path. We break down the intriguing twist that critics are raving about, examine the stellar performances from Allison Williams and Logan Browning, and discuss how this blend of psychological horror and classical music is hitting the screen. And finally, we wrap up with a major legal development shaking up the tech landscape. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has officially sued Netflix over alleged data collection practices and specific features on their platform. This is a huge legal battle with serious implications for how streaming services operate. Don't miss these critical updates and stay with us, because we have so much more breaking news coming right after this. Netflix is facing continued criticism regarding its ongoing partnership with the National Football League, following recent commentary from President Donald Trump, who argued that exclusive deals between the NFL and streaming services like Netflix and Amazon make watching games prohibitively expensive for American families. Trump expressed concern that these deals could be jeopardizing the financial stability of football fans. In response to the backlash, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos issued a rebuttal during an interview with Fox Business Network. Sarandos defended the platform's involvement by arguing that consumers are already paying for television through expensive pay television packages. He stated that as viewers shift towards streaming and on-demand content, the absence of games on those platforms seems counterintuitive to the direction of the American consumer. Netflix confirmed it will be streaming this year's Week 1 NFL game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams, with expectations that the platform could host up to 5 games throughout the season. However, Sarandos also clarified the company's current strategy, telling Maria Bartiromo that Netflix is not pursuing season-long packages for sports, including the NFL, suggesting a potential point of satisfaction for sports fans. The long-term commitment of Netflix to its sports offerings remains to be seen. Netflix has released the documentary Marty, Life is Short, offering an in-depth look at the career and personal life of Canadian entertainer Martin Short. The film, which premiered in Los Angeles, provides 10 significant reveals about Short's journey, told from the source and his longtime friends. Available to stream on Netflix, the documentary features extensive archival footage, including home videos of Short and his late wife, Nancy Dolman, entertaining friends and family at their Ontario cottage, with appearances by stars such as Eugene Levy, Steve Martin, Andrea Martin, and Tom Hanks. The footage captures summer cookouts and extravagant annual Christmas parties. One anecdote shared by Steve Martin involves the effort it took to master playing Auld Lang Syne on the banjo for a Christmas performance. The documentary sheds light on the reception of Short's early work, specifically the film Three Amigos. While it received mixed critical reviews and was poorly received by some critics, John Mulaney shared a candid reaction, noting that the film lost to Golden Child, though later endorsements from figures like Justin Timberlake highlighted its enduring appeal. Spielberg also shares behind-the-scenes stories, including a 90s excursion where he directed Martin Short and Tom Hanks to reenact a Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid scene, with Hanks playing Forrest Gump as Butch and Short playing Ed Grimley as the Sundance Kid. The film powerfully explores the profound impact of Nancy Dolman on Martin Short's life, emphasizing their deep synchronicity. Steve Martin discusses how the couple related through shared experiences rather than direct connection. Catherine O'Hara recounted how their therapist noted that Marty and Nancy were the blueprint for couples seeking to emulate. Short also revealed candid insights into his career struggles, including a conversation with John Mulaney regarding the failure of his sitcom Mulaney, where Short offered a blunt assessment of the industry's harsh realities. Short further disclosed personal details, including Nancy's treatment for endometriosis and their decision to adopt 3 children after a poignant moment regarding her health. Martin reflects on his tenure on SNL, expressing a dislike for the weekly confinement, and discusses his transition post-SCTV, highlighting the freedom found in improvisation. He also details the developing rapport between himself and Steve Martin, noting how their inside joke banter evolved into a widespread comedic phenomenon. The documentary concludes by focusing on the enduring spirit of Nancy Dolman, with friends describing her resilience and Martin's commitment to supporting her desire to live life fully, even amidst grief. Netflix is featuring the 2018 psychological horror film, The Perfection, offering viewers a twisty thriller experience. The movie centers on a music prodigy who returns to her former mentors at her alma mater, only to discover they are captivated by a new student, leading the pair down a dark and shocking path. Directed by Richard Shepard and written by Shepard, Nicole Snyder, and Eric C. Charmillo, the film stars Allison Williams, Logan Browning, Steven Weber, Elena Huffman, Mark Canborg, Graham Duffy, and Eileen Tian. Premiering at Fantastic Fest in 2018 and arriving on Netflix in 2019, The Perfection is positioned as a taut psychological horror that keeps audiences guessing until the final twist. Critics have given the film a 71% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, praising its intriguing twist and top-notch performances from Allison Williams and Logan Browning. However, audience reception was more mixed, with a 56% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with critiques often focusing on the messy third act and pacing issues. While not a massive commercial success, The Perfection is recommended for fans of psychological horror blended with classical music, as the soundtrack features compositions by Bach, Mozart, and Handel, highlighting the successful pairing of classical music and thrillers. Allison Williams' performance in the film continues her horror trajectory, following her work in Get Out and her subsequent appearances in other projects. Despite mixed critical reception, The Perfection remains a worthwhile watch on Netflix for those seeking a new, atmospheric psychological horror experience. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed a lawsuit against Netflix, alleging improper data collection and questionable features within the streaming service. The legal action brings scrutiny to how Netflix handles user data and the functionality of its platform. Further details regarding the specific allegations and the scope of the lawsuit are expected to emerge as the case progresses. This development marks a significant legal challenge to Netflix's data practices in the United States.